welcome back to another video and welcome to day 23 of Vlogmas. We are so nearly at the end. I'm very, very excited. I hope you are too. I hope you've been enjoying Vlogmas this year. Do let me know down below if you've got any feedback, anything you'd like to see next year. Do you want me to do this again next year? I've had a really fun time, so let's be honest, I probably will. Anyway, today, as you might be able to tell from the title and the thumbnail and all that jazz, it is my 2025 self-destructing list. This pile always scares me. So if you don't know, self-destructing books is an idea that I think originated with Becca over Becca in the Books. I will tag her down below. And the idea is you put together a list of 12 books that you have to read over the coming year. And if at the end of the 12 months you have not read those 12 books, there you go. They get unhauled. And the way that I pick my books is these are all, the pile that I've got sat next to me here, these are all books that over the course of 2024, they have been on TBRs and I haven't read them, with the extra caveat in there that I bought them prior to 2024. So in other words, these are all books that were purchased in 2023 or before. So they've been on my TBR for well over a year. They were on a physical monthly TBR and I still hadn't read them. So sort of really the idea for me is that these are books that for one reason or another, I'm clearly not gravitating to. You know, I'm just not picking them up. And when I do pick them up, I'm still not reading them. So these are the kind of books that need to get off my TBR, to be totally honest, because rather than me just be constantly keeping my shelves full of books that I pick up, I decide that I'm going to put on a monthly TBR and I'm going to read them and then don't read them and they just go back on the shelves and gather dust. I need to be clearing these ones out. So there are definitely a couple of controversial books in this pile. Do you know what? There's actually maybe only one book in this pile that I could feel fairly comfortable getting rid of. Normally on these, when I've done these self-destruct lists before, there's been like 3 or 4 books that I'm like, well, if I don't get to that one, I'm not going to shed a tear. I think there's only one in that category, but let's go through them. These are not really in any order. They are just in the order that I've put through the pile. Now, if there are any books that you think I need to be prioritising, please comment down below. Likewise, if there's any books that you think it's a bit mid, you don't need to prioritise that one, let me know, because this is all very, very helpful information for me, because I need to figure out what I'm doing with these books. So let's get into it. The first book is The Hike by Lucy Clarke. This one follows 4 friends who go on a hike in the Norwegian wild. A woman had gone missing there over a year ago, and these women are hiking into the heart of the mystery. Waiting on the trail is someone who'd do anything to keep their secrets buried. It sounds really, really good. I have read from Lucy Clarke before. I've read Castaway? The Castaways, which I did really like. So I am intrigued by this book. I am excited by this book. I don't really know why I didn't read it when it was on a TBR, if I'm totally honest, because it sounds fantastic. So I would like to get to this one. It sounds like it's going to be super atmospheric and fun. Next, we have got Breaking by Amanda Cassidy. So this one is following a character who is on holiday in the Florida Keys. Her 8-year-old adopted daughter goes missing from the beach. She appeals to the world for help, but the police are immediately suspicious of the mother. Why was she drinking at a local bar alone at the time her daughter went missing? What does her past have to do with the child's disappearance? is she even as devastated as she seems? This is a debut and it sounds really, really good. It gives me obviously quite a lot of Madeleine McCann vibes. And I'm so intrigued. I think this one sounds fantastic. I am so excited to read it. Again, I don't know my reasoning now as why I didn't read it when it was on my TBR. I think, in all honesty, the reason I never read these two when they were on my TBR earlier in 2024 is most likely just because I ran out of time. These things happen. Next up, now I feel like this is going to be a very controversial one. So please do comment down below and give me your top reason why I should read this book, if you think I should read this book. It's The Bear and the Nightingale by Catherine Arden. I know that this book is so, so beloved. And I'll be honest, part of the reason I haven't read it is because it is so beloved. It's quite intimidating. So there's that. I have actually started this one. I am 56 pages into it. I would restart it when I come to read it. The reason that this one is on the pile is because in February 2024, Jade at JDA Reads did a week-long polathon. And there's another book in this pile which is on here for the exact same reason as well. I decided, for reasons best known to myself, basically I couldn't decide on a TBR and I couldn't decide what I wanted to read. So I found 5 polar fantasy books and I started a different book every day with the idea that by the weekend I would read the books that I was most intrigued by. This one I think was like second most intriguing. I wanted to do more than a first chapter challenge with these ones, but like not actually read 5 books in a week. So this one did really, really intrigue me, but I just didn't pick it up in that week and I've never picked it up again. So I do want to read it. I mean, it's blurbed by Robin Hobb. You cannot get much higher praise than a blurb from Robin Hobb. I'm just intimidated. Everybody loves this book so much, and any time that a book is like that popular, I get scared. Next up, this one is The Trio by Johanna Hedman. So just to kind of like prove to you just how bad my TBR is, this one is an ARC. Can you see the date on that? July 2022. So if this came out in July 22, I probably got it March, April 22, and I haven't read it. The reason that this one is still on my TBR. This one follows 3 girls, I think, who basically it's like just a summer kind of, these 3 girls summer, like where they cycle over to the beach, and I don't really know actually what it's about. There isn't much of a... Oh, here we go. Thora, August and Hugo come from different worlds. One is a wealthy scion of the urban elite, one an art school dreamer, and one an ordinary boy from out of town. But over the course of 2 summers in Stockholm, they are drawn together magnetically. Years later, Hugo is living alone in New York, long since estranged from Thora and August, when he receives an unexpected visit from their daughter. She has questions about her parents that she believes Hugo can answer, and as he sits across the table from her, her clear blue eyes so much like her father's, the memories of those luminous days come flooding back. It sounds fantastic. It sounds so good. It reminds me of things like the Girls of Summer, The Paper Palace. There's a lot of books in this kind of similar vein which I really enjoy. But yeah, for reasons, I haven't read it yet, so I should. Next up, number 5, we have got One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston. Okay, this one, yes, so let me get into it. I have read Red, White and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston, and I didn't love it. I liked it, it was fine, I didn't love it. For me, it was a kind of 3, maybe 3.5 star book. So I own One Last Stop and I own I Kiss Shara Wheeler, and because I didn't enjoy Red, White and Royal Blue so much, that's kind of made me not want to pick up Casey McQuiston's other books, which I know isn't necessarily fair. The thing is I feel like this one does sound really, really good. This one, I believe, follows a sapphic couple, and there's a kind of sci-fi, time travel-y, timey-wimey stuff. It does sound really interesting. I'm excited to read this one, but I'm also quite nervous about reading it. So let me know, is this one good or not? Do I need to prioritise it, or could it go? Next up, In My Dreams I Hold a Knife by Ashley Winstead. Okay, this one here is a sort of dark academia, and it had so much buzz when it came out, and I am incredibly easily influenced, and so of course I bought into all of the buzz. I read Midnight is the Darkest Hour by Ashley Winstead earlier this year, and I did really enjoy it. I believe that In My Dreams I Hold a Knife is generally higher rated and like better received than Midnight is the Darkest Hour. So I am very intrigued to read it. I just need to prioritise it. So again, if you've read it, let me know. Should I pick it up? Okay, next up, this one again I feel is going to be ever so slightly controversial. This one I want to reread. This is The Foxglove King by Hannah Witten. I started reading it and I am 90 pages in and I've put it down. This is a soft DNF. I don't want to permanently DNF this book yet because I feel like it was very much a case of wrong book, wrong time. It was a me issue, not a book issue. At least that's my kind of suspicion with this one. So I do want to try it again, but I need to try it again when I'm in a slightly better space. And the problem is, because I have already tried it, it's kind of got then added pressure on for me to like pick it up and enjoy it. So I am nervous. I am very, very nervous about this one, but we'll see. I do want to get to it. Like I said, I do want to try it again. This edition is the Fairy Loot edition. It is absolutely stunning. I definitely do want to try it. I'm just scared. So again, can you let me know, why should I read it? Next, this one is another victim of my silly idea for Polathon last year, and that is Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. So again, started this one, I'm 44 pages in. I was intrigued by this. I was having a good time. I put it down to pick up another book, possibly even The Bear and the Nightingale, and then because I didn't finish reading it that week, I just have not picked it back up again. I hear really good things about this book. So I really want to read it. I don't really know. I think with this, because I've started it, I'm like, well, maybe I put it down because I wasn't enjoying it, but also I know that it wasn't that I put it down because I wasn't enjoying it. So I just need to pick it up and start it again. It's not actually very long at all, is it? It's not as big as I thought. It's only just over 300 pages. Okay. Let me know. Should I be prioritising this one? Yet another one similar to The Foxglove King. A Marvellous Light by Freya Mask. Again, this one is an Illumicrate edition. It's very, very pretty. And this has got like a funny plastic dust jacket, which I can't take off, but it does. So I am up to page 182 in this one. And I put it down again because I wasn't enjoying it. This one, I do think that there was an element of wrong book, wrong time. However, I also am not 100% convinced that this is a book that I am going to enjoy because I wasn't gelling with the writing style in this one. But I have a few friends who have read this book and they have all loved it. So because of that, I kind of want to give it a second go. If you're one of the people who loved Marvellous Light, let me know. Also, if you're one of the people who haven't liked A Marvellous Light, also let me know, because it'd be actually quite good to know that maybe I don't need to read it. We've then got number 10, Some Desperate Glory by Emily Tesh. This one is an Illumicrate edition. Again, very, very pretty sprayed edges. So this is a sci-fi. I read a first chapter and was like, ooh, colour me intrigued. I then continued reading it, I think. If I did continue reading it, I did not put a bookmark in. I thought I continued reading it, but maybe I didn't. Regardless, the first chapter really intrigued me. I think I read maybe just a second chapter and I started to slightly lose a bit of interest. But I do think that this is a book that I am going to enjoy. Just from like the first, like however much of it I read, it kind of gave me vibes of J. Christoph and Amy Kaufman's writing. So like Aurora Rising, Illuminae. So I'm excited to get to it. I don't read a huge ton of sci-fi, especially not space opera sci-fi. But I want to get to it. Next, again, I think this one is going to be potentially controversial. That is Wolfsong by TJ Klune. This one my friend Susanna absolutely loves and she told me to read it. So I found the book on Vinted and I bought it and I did not read it. This one was on a TBR and again, I never actually picked it up. I have really enjoyed the two books by TJ Klune that I've read. So I've read House in a Cerulean Sea and I've read Under the Whispering Door. I need to read In the Lives of Puppets and Somewhere Beyond the Sea. I own them both, but I just haven't picked them up yet. This series I do hear is fairly different, but I really like TJ Klune's writing, so I think I could enjoy it. The other thing that does ever so teensy put me off is I don't really like wolves and like wolf shifter books. So it may not be the perfect book for me, but I do want to give it a go. So yeah, Wolfsong. And then finally, book 11. This one is Anna O. Just hit myself in the face, that one there. Anna O by Matthew Blake. This one came out February 2024. I got this arc, I think Christmas 2023. Around about then, I think it was in December. And the book sounds so intriguing. We're following Anna O. Murdered her family or murdered someone, but then fell asleep and has never woken up. And it's like, I think that's what happened. I think that's what it's about. There's no synopsis in here, so I don't actually know what it's about. But I think that's it, that she's been asleep now for years. And how much is she to blame for what happened, or she was asleep at the time or something. Okay, I don't actually know what this book is about, but it's something to do with murder and sleeping. That's all we're going with. Sleepy murders. It sounds really intriguing. It sounds really, really fun. I want to read it. I don't know why I haven't got to it yet. This is one of those books that I just am sort of I should have read this. I am so intrigued that I really, really should have read this. So help a girl out, let me know. Okay, let's just pile these ones all up. These are the 12 books that are going to self-destruct in 2025 if I don't read them. Let's put them down before I drop them all. As a TBR, it looks really, really good. As a pile of books I need to read this year, it looks quite intimidating because I want to read them all, but also there's quite a few where I'm like, well, I want to read that one at the right time, or I started it, but it wasn't the best time to read it. And you know how sometimes you get when you have read a book or put a book down because of a wrong book, wrong time. It's really difficult to try and find that right time. Maybe that's just a me thing. But yes, like I was saying, please do comment down below. Let me know if you have read any of these books. Are there any that I need to bump straight to the top of the TBR? Are there any which maybe could slip off the edge? If you like this video, please do leave me a like, subscribe down below. If you want to just leave me a emoji to let me know you were here, leave me either a bear or a bird emoji for Bear and the Nightingale, just because I feel like this one is kind of the one that's going to be most controversial. And if you like this video, like I said, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow for the final day of Vlogmas 2024. Bye.